Who are you? How do you see yourself? Who and what do you think you are? Is life just a strange coincidence, or does it hold some special meaning? Dennis Kimbro in the book, What Makes the Great Great. I'm Stephen Middleton, coming to you from the Possibility Action Network. Our core values include I am, I can, and I will. I am Possibility Man. Today, I want to share on the theme, I am enough. But a reminder, if you have not gone over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm inviting you to do that today. Spread the word. Ask others to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now back to our share. I am enough. Now if you go to YouTube today and search I am enough, you'll find a lot of speakers and coaches from around the world talking on the theme, you are enough. Marissa Peer, for example, has made that a brand of hers, where she provides business coaching, professional coaching to executives and others everywhere on the planet around you are enough. Eric Thomas gives motivational speeches on the theme, you are enough. I want to modify that title just a bit and use the refrain, I am enough. And when I say I am enough, I want you, if you're listening or watching this video, to utter the same refrain. I am enough. So I'm not here to tell you that you are enough. I am exclaiming that I am enough, and I am inviting you to do the same. Now, Dennis Kimbro raises some important questions. Who are you? How do you see yourself? Who and what do you think you are? Is life just a strange coincidence, or does it hold some special meaning, and of course, some special meaning to you, and some special meaning to the universe? I want to slow things down as I explore this with you today. And I want to see what occurs to me. Yes, I did make some notes, but I want to slow things down. And I want to see what occurs to me, and I want you to see what occurs to you. It's now 2022. If YouTube is around in 50 years and you come across this video, I hope that you slow things down and see what occurs to you on the theme, I am enough. Now, Dennis Kimbro, following those questions, he explores a living organism. That is, he asks the question, what actually is a living organism? Like a human being. And of course, we cannot exclude any other living organism. And Kimbro looks at this from the perspective of science, from the perspective of a biologist or any other scientist who is examining the human body or the body of a living organism. Kimbro rightly concludes that the body, a living organism, consists of water. It consists of fat. It consists of calcium and phosphorus and sodium and magnesium and iron and sulfur. The body can actually be broken down into compounds and elements. That's what this living tissue is. And it is not in large quantities. All of these are in very small quantities. Is that what you are? Is that what I am? Compounds and elements? We can also use some of the imaging devices that medical people apply in their trade. You know, we can look inside into the body by using an ultrasound. I visited a friend who was in the hospital recently, and they did an ultrasound of my friend's thyroid. And as I looked at the imaging on the screen of the technician that the technician used, I didn't see anything. I mean, just looked like actually an ocean in there. We can do imaging by using X-ray devices. Have you ever seen a copy of your X-ray? You know, you may see, the skeletal structure on the X-ray, but not much more than that. We can use an MRIR imaging device to look into the body. And once again, when we look into the body with these imaging devices, we see a vacuous space. It's like looking into space. It's like looking into the clouds. But you cannot find anything that you can say, that's me. That's who I am. We're not what we see when we look into the mirror, and we're not what we see when we use imaging devices. Now, in fact, we cannot actually know in fully who we are and what we are. This is what the Apostle Paul said in his first letter to the Corinthians. He said to them, we look through a glass darkly. Look, we can only know in part what we are. But we know that we're not just a body. We know we're not just what we look at when we do an imaging of the body. One way, though, to get close to recognizing who I am, who you are, is by having an experience. Let's slow it down a little bit here, and let's see if we can get an experience of who we are and what we are. Let's notice what's happening now. Let's notice that we are breathing. Or more precisely, that breathing is happening to us. Slow it down for a moment. Experience your body just breathing. We know that we are, if you happen to be a sighted person, or even if you're not a sighted person, just notice you are seeing. Because a blind person is probably seeing something as well. Just slow it down for a moment and notice that this is happening for you, that you are not doing it. Notice that you are feeling. If you can, touch your hand. If you can, rub your hands together. If you can, place your hands on your thighs. And just notice now that you are feeling. Notice also that you are knowing. You're knowing. You're knowing something. You're just knowing. You are experiencing now. Okay. Who are we then? There are some trustworthy witnesses that give a testimony of who you are. One trustworthy witness is you. You know that you are alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. No matter what else is going on with you right now, you know that I am alive. You are a trustworthy witness of who you are. The people who love you and who care about you are trustworthy witnesses of who you are. They see you not in your downtime. They see you from the love that they see that's in you. They are trustworthy witnesses. Let's slow it down a bit. And I'm not trying to be negative here, but there are untrustworthy witnesses of who you are. One of them is the critic that's in your head. One of them is the phantom that you think that you are. The one that keeps telling you that you're not good enough. The one that keeps telling you that you are depressed. In fact, that one, I'll tell you now, is a liar because you're not depressed. I am not depressed. I may be having an experience of depression, but that's not who I am. That one, that critic that puts you down, that one that's in your head is not a reliable witness of who you are. In fact, no critic of you is a reliable witness of who you are. No person who criticizes you, who condemns you, is a reliable witness of who you are, because anyone that looks at a being as precious as you are and criticizes you and condemns you is only giving you a signal that they too do not believe they are enough. Because what you are is what every other being on the planet, including that little pet that you love, your cat or your dog, they are it too. So do not believe any critic. Let's slow it down a bit. Do not believe the critic that's in your head, and do not believe any critic that's external to you, because they are unreliable witnesses. Do not believe your thinking or the thoughts of anyone who pull you down. If you find yourself, look, I'm only speaking from my experience, if you find yourself thinking about the past, that's not, or a past whereby you find evidence of something that you did or something that you are accused of, or even if you had gone to jail for something that you once did, and you find yourself dwelling on that, and that pulls you down, that's not a reliable witness of who you are. It just isn't. It just isn't. Even if you did a wrong, even if you once did a wrong, and by the way, this is the experience of every human being on the planet, because every human being on the planet at one time or another looks back and say, gosh, I could have done that differently. I could have done that just a little different. Now I'm going to give you the antidote for any past thought that oppresses you. Now, I did not come up with this antidote, but I'm going to share this antidote with you. And I hope that you would share this antidote with someone else. In fact, it's a lot like a prescription. I'm going to give you a prescription. Let's say that I'm your physician and I'm giving myself a prescription for any thoughts of the past that oppresses me. And the antidote, I'm writing it down now, is your sins are forgiven. Your sins are forgiven. Your sins have been washed away. Actually, the truth of the matter is your sins are forgiven because you have never sinned. What you are is not possible for you to have sinned. Of course, now, I'm not saying that we could have done certain things differently. Of course we could have. That's true for everyone. I want to ask you a question. Why do you think these speakers who are going around the world, literally the world, shouting and speaking about you are enough, doing it? And they are paid handsomely for doing it, for coaching on this theme. Why do you think they are hired by companies, by individuals? Because one of the ailments around the world is the feeling that we are not enough. Little kids get it. You know, it's almost like in our society. They get it from the news. They get it from other kids. They get it from some adults who are in their wrong mind. You know, they get it from teachers. I remember when I was a kid, I don't recall how old I was. I had written an essay in class. And another teacher had given me an idea, and I just kind of worked on it. And it was a pretty good essay. And I turned my essay into my teacher. Now, I was a boy. I was not even in the 5th grade. Just a kid putting some words on paper. And my teacher told me that my essay was good, but that my handwriting was so bad that she would not put my essay on the board. That teacher told me, you're not enough. Now, she was innocent. This is not going back to try to beat that teacher up. My point is simply is that there are a lot of individuals out there who will tell you that you are not enough, and including yourself. And if you believe it, look, I've experienced it. If you believe that messaging, you may not get out of bed on a particular day. But if you wait, who you truly are, your essence will show up for you. So I want to invite you to stop the war with yourself. I'm reminding myself to stop the war with myself. What I mean is that if I slip into my wrong mind, if I slip into the thinking that says, you're not enough. You know, 20 years ago, you did that thing. You're not enough. You know, I'm 68 years old. 60 years ago, when you were a kid, you did this bad thing. You're not enough. You know that teacher when you were in graduate school 30 years ago who told you that you were not an effective communicator? You are not enough. You believe that kind of thinking, you may not get out of bed. Actually, the mind is so powerful, it's a big trickster. If you're driving your car and somehow you feel what seemingly is a panic attack, you can believe that you are in a panic and that you got to stop your car because you cannot go any farther. If you believe that thought, you would literally stop your car. Look, I'm speaking to myself and to people like me who have gone through life experiences. This may not be for you, but for people like me, real people. Well, I remember many decades ago, I had a panic attack. I thought, literally, I was having a heart attack. Someone, I don't know if it was me or not, dialed 911. The ambulance came. The ambulance rushed me to the hospital. They hooked me up to all kinds of devices. And they kept me overnight because they weren't sure. But I was not having a heart attack. But I had believed the feeling that I was having in my chest so powerfully that I believed I was having a heart attack. And not only did I believe that I was having a heart attack, I enrolled the doctors and the nurses in the same idea that we have to check him because he could be having a heart attack. That thought came from a belief that I was not enough. Now, I'm not saying you should go to the doctor and get checked out if you feel chest pain. As I close here, I want to remind you of this. All of the avatars, all of the Lord of the universe is always telling you that you are enough. The avatars, the teachers, the Lord of the universe, whomever you believe in, are always telling me that I am enough. Allah is saying, you are enough. Buddha is saying, you are enough. God is saying, you are enough. Jehovah is saying, you are enough. Jesus is saying, you are enough. Krishna is saying, you are enough. The Great Spirit is saying, you are enough. And I am proclaiming today that I am enough. And I am inviting you to proclaim now that I am enough. I'm Stephen Middleton, coming to you from the Possibility Action Network. Our core values include I am, I can, and I will. I am Possibility Man. Until next time, good day